time, right?
Yeah.
So fucking hang out.
I'll start getting ready around 2:30.
Time do you work?
4.
What do you need to do at 2 o'clock?
That's what I
What do you
said.
think? What do you think of the screen? What's on this? Green Hood Smoke, what's going on? How are you doing? What's on this different slide? Is that oil or what?
I think
Don't touch it, but
that's kind of what it looks like.
it's jizz. What are you doing today, Green Hood Smoke? I have about 2.5 hours to burn, so we figured we'd do a live since it's been a while since we did one. Really helps your algorithms out when you do a live. Lunch and getting ready to go to work. On a drive. So we set up the table. We figured we'd do one now, and I might come back and hit another one later. You know how well my lives go. All 5 people fall asleep. Yeah, I don't know. I hung out there for quite a while. Why don't you get our range bags out and get them ready? So, if you haven't, I mean, double tap the screen, put a like on this. From the looks of it already, I have an idea this isn't gonna go real great. It's gonna be slow. Usually we already have a bunch of people in here.
I'm still loading.
Get the bags out. Leave that open. Why be a cunt? Georgian, what's going on? How are you doing? You and your fucking attitude, dude, needs to stop. I'm more than willing to adjust your attitude for you. Kids, man. So I think I understand why my parents spanked me. Pretty sure. He's my delicate child, so he never got spanked, even though he probably should have been. But yeah, Georgian, how are you doing? What's going on with you? Wyatt, appreciate it. All right, Orange, Green Hood Smoke. We'll catch you later. Yeah, probably. I think most of the time they probably wish I wasn't around. I keep telling them I go get milk. 5th time. Get the fucking range bags out. Set that down.
I'm trying to finish setting that up.
Don't be a fucking cunt.
I was doing what you asked.
Yeah, and obviously that's still loaded. So I'm on the left side. I think we're gonna go shoot tomorrow morning. Harley and I are. There's a all classifier match. So we'll go down there and we'll burn 6 stages and see how that goes. Hopefully it goes good. But yeah, so this is my budget gun collection. I did the math on it after we set it up. I'd love to see people figure out the cost. We can't handle guns during lives. If you want to see that gold gun getting shot, go to the channel. There's match footage of my son using it. I think actually the last couple of videos posted on the channel were all him running that in a match. What do you want to see up close? I could zoom the camera in. If you guys haven't, man, double tap that screen, put a like up on this, consider subscribing to the channel. Hey, Miss Harley. Harley.
Yeah?
Get your shit cleaned up off the floor over here too. Yeah, I'm sure I got terrible taste in guns. Complete poverty. I appreciate it, Wyatt, man. Join the channel. Check out the content. Primarily, we show competition footage. So we travel around the Midwest shooting. Like garbage taste. Okay, explain to me what's garbage on this table. I'd love to hear it. Spider-Man, appreciate it. Yeah, there's one on the table. There's a little revolver on the table. Yeah, I got it. All garbage, man. Since you think they're garbage, can you name what any of them are? I'd love to hear that. No, I've never been to a bench rest match in Missouri. We don't do a lot of rifle shooting anymore. Primarily pistol is the main thing. We do some two-gun, which I can't even say we do. I do two-gun. Price for what's up here? Take a guess. Take a guess and I'll tell you if you're high or low. Trash 19 high points. Oh, there's no Glock 19s up there, and there's definitely no high points up there, so that's nice. Yeah, only pours. Can't even afford an Atlas. I got it. All BB gun. Yep, absolutely. You got me, man. You're like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars low. Tens of thousands low. It doesn't buy you taste. Yeah. Yep, you got me. See, it's funny because you come in trolling, and the harder you try to troll, the more pathetic it makes you sound. Yep, must eat a lot of shit. You got me there, huh? You're still tens of thousands of dollars low. Yeah, little bro, you'll learn someday. Yep. Retail price? No, you're still tens of thousands. The Barrett alone was 11,000. Or did y'all miss that in the background? Yeah, they can hate all they want. Like I said, it just makes them seem more pathetic. So, you're too high there. You're about 20 grand too high. Yeah, you're just about there at that. I think we figured out we're like 20, 28 with what's out here today. I'll say this isn't my entire collection. This is definitely not everything I own. But it's usually a good conversation starter, especially when we get the trolls on here that just go, "Oh man, look at that cheap crap."
Where do you want me to clean up my stuff? Okay.
So, but yeah, what are you guys doing today? What's big with you? Pull that channel up and see if he's got a channel. Third up. It's a Gersan. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's six CZs, one Dan Wesson. Actually, I'm sorry. There's 7 CZs because there's 2 checkmates up there. There's a Volkorstern Black Mamba. There's Tandem Cross, there's Dan Weston, a bunch of CZs, Shadow System. That's by Colt. It's actually, I did that gun when I was in school for machine tool. It was my final project. Yeah, it's not about trolling. Let's see. Yeah, they're trolling, dude. You can talk all that shit you want, but no, I don't own any HK pistols. I own a couple HK rifles. Ammo, we go through roughly 6,000 rounds a month at pistol, with 9mm. Not as much rifle. Like I said, I'm the only one shooting 2-gun right now. Next year,
Army, not ammo.
next year the kids will start picking up 2-gun, but primarily pistol. I have a 416 and I have a UMP. No, it's a Gersan. It's a Beretta clone. So the Shadow carries, they have shitty triggers. Would I recommend it to somebody for carrying it? No. If you wanted to play any of the shooting games, like IDPA, that's a division legal gun. So that's really the only purpose I could see for that. Rolando, definitely double tap the screen for me. Old school Mafia fan. That's all right. Cajuinize it? What do you mean Cajuinize it? Oh, the Shadow system? I would probably go with the CZ custom parts. CZ USA custom. Same parts that Cajun uses, but they're usually a little bit better. So everybody's all stuck on Cajun gun parts, but when and wherever possible, use CZ parts. You get better results.
I got 2 questions. Have you ever watched, well, is Orange Smoke in
No.
here yet? And have you ever watched The Conjuring House?
The Conjuring, yeah.
Is that a good one?
Yeah, oh, you'll love that one. Isn't that the one I sent you last night?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Rap Reaper, I appreciate it, man. Glad you stopped in. I'm not sure who Drew is, so yeah, I'm not the guy who has this fantasy about zombies and shit. We just shoot a lot. We shoot a lot of competitions. That's kind of my thing. Is, I don't really hunt. I mean, everybody I think has a pistol they carry, but pretty much everything up here is stuff that we use in competition, with the exception of the little 22 revolver on the bottom. Everything else, including the Barrett, is used for competition use.
You
So-
shot the bear in the competition?
Yep. Should I RMR cut my PO9? Yeah, send it to CZ USA. They'll do it for you. Like I said, when and wherever possible, use CZ if you have CZ products. So they do good work. You're not going to be disappointed with them. Jonathan, their milling lately has led to a lot of failures. Yeah, I've heard some of that too. That's again why I'm saying check out CZ USA. CZ Custom USA. So it's CZ's custom shop. So you have the main CZ company, then you have CZ USA, then you have CZ Custom. Like I said, as a trained professional, you will get the most headshots. I'm camping. Bombleclat Godly, not sure what that means. Appreciate it though. I see you're here. Is the front right a Glock 34? No. So the two on the bottom are both striker fired guns. The way on the far one on the bottom is on a Gen 4 frame, but it's a 17 slide. That slide came from Stifler Manufacturing. I definitely recommend checking them out. Decent company, veteran owned. They have some really cool sales going on for the month of October. That was provided to us for the channel. I really like that slide. And then the one directly above that's a Shadow Systems MR920P. I have one Walther, and it's just a P22. Raging Bullets, how are you doing? I'm glad to see you, Joe South. Same with you. Glad both of you stopped in for a minute. Hope your guys' day is going good. Hope you're doing well. Joe, if you're interested, Sunday in Ripon is Steel Challenge. I'm not sure if we're going to go there or not, but if you say you want to go shoot it, I'll make sure we're there. So I have just the one Walther, and it's just a P22. Back in 2003, 2002, when they first started importing, I got one of the first imports. So mine's still made in Germany, kind of cool. But a year and a half or so later, they were all manufacturing was moved to the U.S. So kind of cool that I got one of them. Yo, bro, will you be able to send me framed Cali? Absolutely, man. I'll send you anything you want. So take a guess. So I think that was kind of the thing today when people ask, because they always ask about how much is sitting here. Take a couple guesses and I'll tell you if we high or low, and we'll get you narrowed in. But what I will say is you could buy a very, very nice vehicle for what's sitting out here. Right?
Yeah.
Price of cars, I'm not going to say you're going to be able to buy a brand new, fully loaded truck, but you'd be close. Not sure if I'm going to be able to shoot this weekend or not. I don't know what the wife's got planned. There you go. We're going to go shoot southern Wisconsin on Saturday. But yeah. I don't know how to say it. Extho Auto. You're like within $1,000. I've been slowly getting into reviewing, but so far it's just holsters that have been sent out. Haven't been lucky enough to get a firearm review yet. Pull his channel up. We'll probably subscribe. Jonathan, I just lost the name.
Okay.
What's my favorite pistol? Kind of depends on what I'm doing with it. Generally, though, for like competition, I really like shooting my my Checkmates, my Tactical Sport Checkmates. That's CZ's top product. That's their full on hand fit custom gun. Yeah, Jonathan, I think.
Yeah.
No video this weekend. Unfortunately, had a death in the family. Well, my condolences go out to you, Raging Bullets. Hope you're doing well. Hope your family's doing well.
Yeah, he doesn't have videos.
Cause I'm like that. LOL. There you go. Let's see. RIP and shoots Cowboy Saturday, and I don't have a lot of ammo anyways. At the moment, I gotta do a big reload. There you go. The CZ's alone stock, or at least 15K. Yeah, they're well over that. I carry a Glock 26, Gen 5 Glock 26. So, I mean, it's a service gun. It's, a good carry gun. Nothing fancy about it. There's no trigger work, no aftermarket sights, no nothing. It's a bone stock Gen 5 Glock 26. I've carried Glock 26s since 2000, so I got 25 years of carrying a Glock 26. I've carried a Gen 3, Gen 4, and now the Gen 5. So 11K barrel though, LOL. Yeah, the Barrett. That's what it cost me. That was purchased through an auction, and by the time I paid the auction fee, transfer fee, shipping, insurance on the shipping, it came to 11. What would you prefer for carry, Beretta? I would carry a Glock, so I'm left-handed, and Berettas have a transfer bar on them. So for a left-handed shooter like me, Berettas kind of suck. So, can you make blank guns live fire? You can, um, but generally you can only do like a 22 long rifle, and I'm sure in most places that's a federal firearms violation. So, shot a handgun the first time this year. My goal is USPSA with one. If you can safely fire a handgun, go start shooting USPSA. So it's a lot of fun, and you'll gain skills really, really fast. So that's the quickest way to become proficient. Go out there and shoot. Don't go out there and try to race. Just go out there and shoot. Try to get all your hits. I like my Shield Plus so far. I carry a PDP in the winter. There you go. At some point I'll probably pick up a Walther. I do like them. Just like because we shoot so many different games, like in IDP I use my CZSP01, and USPSA I use my Checkmate. So I keep the grip angle and stuff kind of the same. My son, he goes back and forth between a Tactical Sport orange and then that gold Beretta. And then we all shoot, Steel Challenge, we shoot rimfire. So I'll shoot my Black Mamba and he'll shoot his Tandem Cross. My daughter shoots that Shadow system. So, and that's why I say what I do about just going out and getting shooting, and you'll learn the skills as you go, as long as you can be safely do it, and which most people can. It's not hard to follow some safety rules. But you look at where she started out this year, and she was rough. This was her first year of shooting a 9mm. She previously she shot 22 long rifle pistols, but yeah, she was on a struggle bus for sure. And she went out, she played the game, and now she's slowly moving up the ladder. She's not great at it, but she is moving up the ladder. They chunky, I assume you mean the Beretta. Pure Alaska, how are you doing, man? Hope your day is going good. Nice lineup, Compliant Armory. Thank you, I appreciate it. Be sure to double tap that screen for me. All you guys, if you haven't yet, consider double tapping that screen. Consider subscribing. It's hard to beat those Czech sidearms. Yeah, for competition use, they're fantastic. They're great competition guns. The SP01, that's the SP01 competition. I like that gun. I wouldn't carry it, but I like shooting it. It's a fun gun to shoot. EDC needs to be light and smallish. I prefer CZP10s, the Shadow series, like the 457 rifles, top line. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I have a CZPCR. I bought it, kind of intending that I would carry it, and I don't know. Maybe because I'm so used to carrying a Glock 26, I haven't really grown on the fact of carrying it. I've carried it a few times, but I don't enjoy it as much. I don't recommend the PDP-F if you have big hands. I got it on a good sale, but I can't shoot it for shit. Yeah, they do have smaller frames. I think I missed Joe's comment in there somewhere. I missed Joe's last comment. I was going to come back to it. I have a PPK 380. It's one of concealed carry guns. I like them little Walther PPKs too. That's been on the list for a long time. The P10S is criminally underrated. I think at some point here I want to get that new P10 comped. I've looked at them a little bit. Yeah, that's the one I would want too, Joe, is the stainless one. I just want one for the collection. Not something I would carry. I might, but how's the trigger on it? How's the double action? I don't know that I've ever even cocked one. So when I see them in stores, I walk right past them, because if I pick it up, I'll buy it. So, what do you think about the Glock 21 G5? I don't really have any input on it. I've never fired one. I've never handled one, so I'm not sure. Can't carry a Glock, then carry a heavier weapon all day, no matter how nice. Yeah, I carry a Glock, like I said. So I like the way it feels. I use in waistband holster. I think that's one of the things with the PCR I don't like is there's a lot of sharp edges on it, which in no time at all, you wear it for a week straight, it'll get smoothed out. But Glock 26 is a smooth gun to carry against your body. So I'm old, enjoy hammer fired pistols, but I must admit I keep a Sky and Excavator, best gun ever. Yeah, they work. I mean, say what you want, but they work. You know, I would like the new Bursa 2011 they have. How much did Barrett cost? 11. The comp is nice. I shoot it side by side with my C, and it's no. Yeah, that's what I understand too. I'm kind of new to the I guess service size pistols with comps and ports. I mean, my race guns all have comps, but I never had much of a use for one on a smaller gun. But I am starting to see the purpose of it. Harp, I think I just answered that. You probably sent that after, but it was 11K. Can't type today. I can't read today. Sick collection. I daily carry an SPO1 tactical, but also on a Glock 26.
Was there an ad? Well,
Yeah. I have the SPO1 tactical too, and I like the gun. That was actually like the second CZ I ever bought. I just don't care for the trigger on it. And I could do all the parts to it like I did my other one, just, you know what I mean? So, no budget collection. Yeah. You can get them for 500 out the door. CZ's killing it with the polymer price. Yeah, it's hard to beat any of their polymer guns. But it's a great place for people to start. So I need to get some CZ polymer guns. I do like them. I don't know. I always end up buying other stuff. I plan on shooting an IDPA state match next year. So I'll probably get one for that. I've even been like the last couple IDPA matches, I've shot my daughter's gun. I like her gun. I hate to admit it, but I like her gun. Brick Chvesky, I made a pancake holster from a PPK, working on one for 1911. Brick nice. I've got a Staccato as my most expensive handgun, but the Shadow, it's something special about it. The Shadow systems or the Shadow 2? I guess I assume you're talking the Shadow 2. Shadow 2s are nice. That's a gun that most people can get and be happy with. It'll do a lot of things really, really well. For me, that's probably one of my least used CZs. Like if I'm shooting IDPA, none of that stuff's legal for it, so I shoot the SPO1. If I'm shooting USPSA or Hit Factor, I use my Checkmate or I use one of the TSO2s. So the Shadow 2 is a great gun. It's a great shooter. Comes out of the box pretty much ready to go. You don't have to do anything to it. But I don't use it much. I want to send mine to Occasion Gunworks, but I'm cheap and I already shoot mine very well. There you go. Send it to CZ Custom though. Don't go to Occasion Gunworks. CZ Custom does better work. SPO1 tactical trigger is heavy. It weighs 40 ounces. I've seen bare bones 10s for 350 Occasion Gunworks. What do you think of the POs? The PO7s are nice too. That's another great gun for people to get into. You know, even the cheaper model CZs, I don't think anybody ever complains with and says they're crap. So, I'm not worried about using 50 caliber ammunition and a 9mm pistol. I think we're pretty safe. Do you have a Glock with a switch? No, that would be a federal firearms violation. And being I'm not into angry butt sex, I will pass on committing any felonies. Let's see, Shadow 2 is phenomenal. Yeah, Shadow 2 is a good gun. definitely, I don't want to say undervalued because you're paying 11, 12, 13 for them. But I only have one CZ Shadow, so the gray and black one up there is the only CZ Shadow up there. Switches are gay. Yeah, I agree with that. Any opinions on FRTs? If you get the right one, you're good, but great way to get in trouble. Have you ever heard Danger Close argument CZs? No, I'm not sure what you're talking about on that. If you can get a 50 cal, yeah, I would love to see that too. Said that FRTs. P10s is my next buy. C prints just a tad too much on me with just a t-shirt. Yeah. So, have you ever shot a deagle? I have a deagle. You want me to put it out there so you can see it? We can add it. Gage, why don't you grab the deagle? Yeah, we'll put the deagle out.
I was already on it before you even saw the comment.
Put it by the Barrett, and I'll block this out. I'm gonna block this out for a split second. You can look at my palm print here. So turn it the other way. My kid's a little autistic today. He's having a lot of special moments. So, P10 is a great pistol. You won't be disappointed. And there's not much. Again, there's not much you have to do. There's things you could do, but he customizes guns. You should check out the Danger Close Armament. Screenshot that and we'll pull it up later. So I'll say it again because I got to keep saying it. If you guys haven't, man, be sure to double tap that screen for me. It really helps.
Screenshot what?
Danger Close Argument.
Okay.
Consider subscribing to the channel. Consider checking out the videos. Somehow I shot it even better than the C or the F. CZ did some weird sorcery with the S. CZ does a good job on most of their stuff. Like I said, it probably seems like I'm a bigger fan of CZ than I am. It's what we use for competition. Ruger GP or Smith 686. I have a Ruger GP 100, so that would probably be my choice. If you're going to use it for competition or carrying, then the 686 because it's a little lighter. Holy Joe, how are you doing? Glad you stopped. Favorite shotgun? Sega 12 or Benelli M1. Anthony, I appreciate it. Even better, CZ come used from factory broken. Yeah, there you go. I like your guns. Thank you. I appreciate you. Consider double tapping the screen for me. What about the P10Cs? The P10Cs are great guns. You're not going to go wrong. Nope, I don't have a single Canik. I don't own any Caniks. I don't own any SIGs. So, what do you think about the C96 and Luger pistols? So the broom handle's a badass gun. Nobody can argue with that, right? And the P08s, they're cool too. Definitely one of the things that a lot of people want. I've passed on a few P08s over the years, and I still regret it. I should have bought every one of them. Can I borrow the gold pistol? Can I borrow your mom? Hell yeah, I have Stoeger P350 pump and 1301 tactical. Yeah, 1301s are pretty badass. Any reason you don't own a Canik? I got 3. So let me say the truth on Canik. Jimny Show, hi, how are you doing? I do see you. Caniks have great triggers. And that's crickets in the background. You know, for people that like they're getting into guns and they choose Caniks, that's great. I have Glocks and I have CZs, so there's nothing in that platform that like is desirable to me. They're not more accurate, they're not cheaper, they're not anything else. So I stick with known platforms for me. It makes being able to pick up guns and being proficient with them a whole lot easier. What is the gun with the red grip? I assume you're talking about the second one up. That's a Dan Wesson DWX. The one below that with the red and black grip is a CZ SP01 competition. They're not all the same. There's like no doubles. Well, I apologize. The 2 Checkmates, there's a double. Everything else is either a different caliber or a different model. Doing phenomenal. Just got off work, so life is great. Did you get out and shoot that gun yet, Holy Joe? Do you have an MG42 or an ST? Nope, I don't own any World War II German firearms. I would love to. The MG42 or the MG34. I mean, that would be badass. I don't know that I could afford to feed them, but C96 or P38. Probably the 96. I think the 96 would be pretty spectacular. Nut SP01. Yep, there's one SP01 up there. Click and no bang, so you're getting light strikes. It may be time to change your striker springs in them. You know, them things do wear out. But any of the striker fired guns, doesn't matter if it's Smith & Wesson, Glock, Shadow Systems, Canucks, you know, they can be primer sensitive. So generally, if you stick with American manufactured ammunition, you'll have more success than some of the cheaper stuff like the Cellular Beloit, the Magtech, or any of these other foreign ammunitions. No primer strike. Interesting. I just started shooting Canuck a year ago. Shot my buddy's Glock and just like, yeah, so that's definitely one of the things with Canucks is, and that's what I said in the beginning, they do have a really nice trigger and they come in at a very attractive price. I'm still thinking about getting a 1911 9mm to do the other shooting disciplines. A double stack, I would assume, right? What I lost that. Up. How much did your CZ? I'm not sure which CZ. The SP01. So the SP01, I think I paid 13 cheeseburgers for it, and then I put another 800 cheeseburgers in it. CZ called that their competition gun, their SP01 competition, and it was okay, but dude, it really left a lot to be desired. So I bought it. I should have just bought a cheap manual safety one and then did the work, but instead I bought the expensive one and did the work. I'd rather have a 2011. Okay, that's all right. Joe Parker, how are you doing?
That one you missed was that guy just restating from Wisconsin that it's no primer strike at all.
Yeah, okay. Hello, my friend, everyone in the chat. How are y'all doing? Yeah, I'm doing good, Jerry. Glad to see you stopped in. Hope your day is going good, man.
Actually,
So I was inspected my Beretta and seen a bad stake job on the extractor pin, and my first, I was going to just say I lost that. Finish. Yeah, I lost his, okay, hold on. I was just going to say, forget it, and they did say it should be all right, but I paid that much for them. Yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to send it in. You know, unfortunately, everything is being made by people, so things get through. You know, it's not a great feeling or a great start, but Beretta's a good company. I mean, they're the oldest firearms manufacturer in the world. I mean, for what was it, 1500? I think, like early 1500s, Beretta Firearms was opened. So hundreds and hundreds of years Beretta's been open. Love how you keep up with the comments. Most people don't try. I try, man. I mean, if you guys are going to take the time and engage with me, I wanna read your comments and interact. Are you hunting at all this season? And if so, what are you?
1526.
Yeah, so Beretta opened in 1526. It's pretty old for a firearms company. And you don't hear about Beretta's, you know, accidental or negligent or uncommanded discharges. So that's nice.
You hear more so how they run just about everything.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna hunt this year. I'm not really big into hunting. My oldest, I took him hunting a few times because he wanted to go, and now he's got other things to do. My middle son here, you know, he took Hunter's Ed. He didn't want to hunt last year or the year before. I asked him this year if he wanted to go, and he goes, if he wants to go, we'll go. We'll go try to shoot some deer. My daughter has no desire, but when I used to hunt, I like to turkey hunt. I like to duck hunt, and I like to hunt deer. And we'd go shoot small game. You know, we'd go shoot rabbits and squirrels. And when my mom was alive, we had predators out there. You know, fox and coyotes. So I would shoot them. But Caveman, how are you doing? I'm glad you had a chance to stop in, say hi. A Dumic 45. There's 145 up. I think somebody asked too what the calibers were, so I can go through that. I kind of got distracted. I got a little laser pointer, so on the very bottom there with the laser, that's a 22 long rifle. Everything up here is all 9mm. That right there is 9mm major. That's 9mm major. That is 22 long rifle. 9mm, 45 ACP, 22 long rifle, 9mm, 9mm. The Desert Eagle is set up with a 44 Magnum barrel in it right now, and then of course the Barrett BMG is 50 cal. So, hell yeah, man, that's amazing to hear. Yeah. So I mean, I used to like to hunt. I don't know. I mean, I think when I was younger and my family was younger, I'd go hunt because if I could shoot a couple deer, that would pretty much give us enough meat for the year. Same with ducks and turkeys. You know, it was more for meat. You know, now I just buy a half a cow. You know, it's not too bad. Gandalf, hello. Do you got some Luger German pistol? No, I don't have any Lugers. I would love to have a PO8. That'd be pretty badass, but I just haven't found one yet that has either been the right price or the right timing. So don't get me wrong, if I come across one and it's the right price or it's the right time for me to buy it, meaning it may not be the right price, but I have extra disposable cash at the moment, then I'd buy one. But I'm leery about, like, I don't mind doing gun broker auctions. I buy a lot of stuff that way and I bought a lot of firearms that way. But any of that World War II stuff, you have to really be sure what you're buying because there's big variances in price. Like, if you have the right markings on it, you're going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars more. And some of the markings are easily faked. So you got to be aware of them counterfeits in there. So got that 6.7. That's my daughter's favorite line right now, 6.7. So I still will never get over how small the deagle is next to that magazine. Yeah, dude. So you don't really realize how big that 50 BMG is until, like I said, or you're saying, you put that, you know, you put the Desert Eagle next to it, and I mean that Desert Eagle looks like little. I was just gonna stick my hand in front of it too. I was standing up to do it, but yeah. I mean, the Barrett's a big gun, you know. You know, for our U.S. troops or even our allies that carry them. You know, they're not carrying it like a service rifle. They backpack them until they need them, put them together. But that's a heavy gun. It's a very, very awkward heavy. Like,
in general, it's
you know, you'll see people shoulder fire, and it's absolutely possible. But man, why don't you grab one of the 43Xs? We'll put it under the grip. But it's a cool gun to have, and it's, you know, one of the things that, again, timing and place worked out. I had the cash to buy it, so I bought it. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, real good idea of how big that gun really is. You see the grip on that. That's about the same size as just a regular AR grip.
That is an AR grip.
Yeah.
So that's actually not a Beretta up there. It's a Girsan MC Deluxe. I have a Beretta. We don't really use it. The Girsan, my son started shooting. He shot 2 matches now with it for IDPA. So it's he's doing it just to have fun. He's not like super proficient with the firearm, but you're gonna come around behind me, or
Yeah. I'm in closer and a little easier.
we'll block this out, and again in a second we'll put that 43X under the grip.
Just stand it right up under me.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Now you can really see how big that Barrett is in comparison. There's there's a Glock 43X under it.
Carry on.
I'm pretty sure I could stick that in the magazine.
Probably.
Yeah, we hunt at the grocery store too. That's so looks nice though. A lot of cleaning hours. You know, it depends on how and what you clean, right? So, do I scrub barrels every time we shoot the guns? Absolutely not. And the stuff we shoot on a regular basis, does it get cleaned every time after shooting? No, because it wouldn't make sense. It would actually do harm to the firearm the moment we use them. So
Plus, that require you to have enough with the Barrett. Require you to have enough money to shoot through it, but you need to clean it.
no, the one on the very bottom right is a Glock Gen 4 frame. On top of it, it's a Stifler manufacturing slide and barrel setup. It's actually not his barrel, but it's an assembled upper. It's a nice slide. If you're interested, check out Stifler Manufacturing. He's got a really great October sale going on. He sent us that for test and evaluation on the channel. So far, I will say I like the slide. It's got a really good solid fit to every frame we've tried on. We've tried on like 5 different frames, everywhere from a Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. And it's a tight fitting slide, so that's nice. Got a jump going to dinner and got a lot of videos to edit of the last 2 matches. There you go, Joe. I'll check them out as you post them. But yeah, like I keep saying, as always, if you haven't, consider double tapping the screen. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you like firearms, it's definitely the place to go. No, I'm in America. A lot of people consider or mistake like the Wisconsin accent. I don't think we sound like Canadians. Minnesotans, they definitely sound more like Canadians. Cool collection, my guy. What do you think of Radical Firearms? For a person that's like just getting into firearms, it's a good place to start. And as you grow older and your finances change, you'll probably grow out of that firearm. But it's a great place to start. It's a great place to go out and have fun. You're not breaking the bank. You're probably not going to be precision shooting it. You're just going to go out and have fun with it. Maybe get an FRT or something. That's a great option. It's affordable. And if you wanted, as you go, you could upgrade the gun, upgrade the barrel, upgrade trigger components, furniture, whatever. But as they come, they come in at a very affordable price, where they hit a lot of people's budget, so you're able to get into it. So for that aspect, it's not bad. PO1, I'm not sure what you're asking. Do I have a PO1, or is there a PO1 up there? No, to both. I have a PCR, which is what the PO1 came off of. Riders here, take it easy, brothers. All right, Holy Joe, you have a good day, man. Get out to the range, get some range footage with that gun. I'd love to see it. I know you're waiting a long time to get it, and you're pretty excited, so get some footage, man. Dust Cover Actual, how are you doing? Hope you're going good. Have you ever shot a CZ? No, man. I've never fired a CZ. I'm all about that Canik. That's what I'm about. Thank you for that. It's going to my first AR for now. Yeah, like I said, it's a good place to start. It's an aluminum receiver, so you can rebarrel it. You can change the bolts out and stuff. But to go out and have fun with it and play with it and get it hot and dirty and all them things, that's a really great option. You're not going to destroy an expensive firearm. And even me with like ARs, I have some cheap ones that the binary triggers are in, the forced reset triggers are in, and that's what all we do with them. So I'm not going to put that stuff in my Daniel Defense or my Stag and smoke a nice gun, but I have no problem burning up a cheap gun. So kind of makes it a whole lot more fun when you're not, it's not costing you a lot of money to abuse something. Yeah, yeah, David. Ruger does make good AR-15s. Um, they're not mil spec, but they make good AR-15s. Ruger generally makes good firearms. Um, most of their stuff is overbuilt, including their AR-15s. They're a little overbuilt. They're built with some, what I want to say. They want to make sure they're strong. They don't want things failing and falling apart. They would rather have things chunky. But my experience, Ruger's always made decent firearms. You know, we're not talking top of the line tier 1 shit, but they make good firearms. They make good rifles. Um, you know, the LCP, yeah, you're not wrong on that. But again, for the budget that they came into and for what they were supposed to, you know, the triggers on the LCPs, they're deliberately heavy because it's considered to be a pocket carry pistol. So a gun you put in your pocket with no holster. So they intentionally created that trigger to be heavy. And it's a pocket pistol, so they're not supposed to be 25-yard accuracy, but you know. Yeah, I like Ruger revolvers too. Yeah, little crappy pistol. So, Pop-Up Pew Pews, how are you doing, man? Figure we get this live in today. It's been a while since we did it. So, I actually had to clean my little table off. I had it down in the shop. I was working on smoke projectiles for the 37 millimeter, and I ordered some higher temp glue for that. So you ain't went live in 2 months. How come you haven't went live in 2 months? David, I like my Kel-Tec P32. I'm not familiar with the P. What model is that? Is that 9mm or is that the? I'm not super familiar with the Kel-Tec product line. I can tell you what the KSG is, and I can tell you about the sub 2000s, kind of, off the top of my head. Whether what is it? Their RDB or the RDP, whatever. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with it. The 32 ACP mouse gun. Yeah, I've never had a chance to fire one, but a lot of people like them pocket guns. Don't get views anymore. Why go live? Well, getting views on YouTube's kind of a hard thing. Everything goes in cycles. Channels go up and down. When your channel's doing really well, somebody else's channel is probably doing really poorly, and they may be putting out better content. And when your channel's doing poorly, somebody else's is doing well. So YouTube's always hit and miss. You never know for sure how you're gonna hit the algorithms, but sure way to not get views is to not put out the content. So if you're putting out content solely for the views, then yeah, you're kind of get discouraged quickly. But like I've said, you know, YouTube goes up and down. Like right now, my channel's on the downswing. In my feeds, all the stuff that's being promoted or pushed to me is videos that are years old. Like I was watching shit earlier today, and it's like 14, 15-year-old videos, and consistently, that's what they're showing. Any of the new channels with people, if I don't go in the channels and actually look for their videos, it's not being shown. And that's the way YouTube goes in their cycles. They'll go from promoting like small channels like yours was, less than 1,000 subscribers, to only showing big channels. And it's a cycle. Every time I think I've figured out their algorithm or figured out how it works, it doesn't. It changes. So best thing to do is just keep posting, man. You know, keep putting that content out there. I've posted the same video, like I'll post one a day and it'll do nothing. I'll post the same video 2 hours later and it'll get a ton of views. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But Chris, I appreciate it, man. Quiet. So if you guys haven't, be sure to double tap that screen for me. That would be great. Getting people to come in too, you know, it's hard because especially now, like in the later evenings, there's a lot of channels that are doing lives, a lot. Yeah, I'm at pretty much at the point that I'm only going to support companies that support me. Yeah, you know, even that, it's hard to get companies that, a lot of companies will make promises and not all of them follow through. And some of them, they make a promise and then it gets drug out and drug out and drug out, and you're like, you start feeling like they're completely full of shit. And next thing you know, you got a package from 'em, you know. I can say that for Stifler Manufacturing. Like, we were talking in the spring about getting a slide, and I legitimately wanted to shoot the gun and test it and do all that. And he making money first. Every company wants to make their money first, and they should. But he sent us the slide. It's a great slide. I'm not super impressed with the barrel or the parts kits, but that's just a combo for him to put together. His slide that he makes, it's a nice slide. So, and we'll use it more. I'll abuse it. We're almost done shooting for the year, so it'll be a lot of outdoor range, indoor range with it. But I do like it. You know, we went to GunCon and we hooked up with Tandem Cross, and they sent all the parts out for my kids' build. So Tandem Cross is a really great company. Gideon Optics is another really great company. So I can't say enough things about Gideon Optic. He's good people. So if you guys aren't familiar with them, check them out. Like, we have the Gideon Omegas on both the Glock style firearms. For what that optic costs, it's a great optic, you know. We have the Gideon Storm on the Dan Wesson. I don't have very much experience behind that just because we're finishing out the season. But they're great companies. Shaw Barrels is another really great company. They have one of my rifles. They've had it since July. I think I'm supposed to get it back like next week or the week after. But, you know, they got the gun. They told me they'd rebarrel it for the channel to test and evaluate. But they got busy, you know. So I've stayed in contact with them, and they're like, man, you know, we can get our orders out or we can work on your project. And my response is, make your money first. You know, if I'm paying for it, I want it back. But if you're trying to get your orders out and even messing around with one barrel, you know, because the one they're doing for me, it's, you guys will see, it's going to be custom as fuck. Super, super nice. So I'm in no hurry to rush them into doing something, and they don't want to rush something either, because, you know, they want to show their best product, not something they just threw together. So yeah, Dan, I mean, I think you've heard me tell you that before. Channels go up and down, you know, you just got to stay at it. You know, it's nice when people that you interact with on their lives come into your channels and interact with you there. It always makes it a lot easier, you know. But yeah. You know, it's funny too, like, I don't know what Warhawk shit is, that a video game, Hambo? You know, sometimes too, Dust Cover Actual, like, it's hard to see other channels that, I don't want to say no talent or whatever, but they're doing better than you. It's a hard thing to swallow sometimes. So, you know. John Winks, how are you doing today, man? Hope you're having a good day. I assume it's late enough. You're probably done with work now. I think you're an hour before us, so it's about 3:30-ish there. Yeah, we made sure we put the 50 cal out too. It's been a while since that's been out. Just heading home now. Yeah. I had a little time, so we figured we'd pop on a live for a while. It's been a minute since we've been here. Yeah, I think you're on the same time zone that John Winks is on. The revolver on the bottom is a North American Arms. It's just 22 long rifle, little 5-shot single action revolver. It's interesting to shoot because as small as that is and as hard as it is to hold on to, it makes you feel like you're shooting a cannon. I mean, it damn near flies out of your hand every time you shoot it. But that's kind of what makes it fun. I love when you Warhawks add to the gun self-deletion statistics. I'm not sure what Warhawks is. So, oh boy. So what's big with you, John? Imagine you'll go shooting this weekend, huh? I think we signed up to shoot. My daughter and I, we signed up to shoot tomorrow in southern Wisconsin. So we'll down there. It's an all classifier match. I'm trying to get a bump up in my classification. Where I'm trying to end up is my goal for next year. I met all my goals this year, and she's still trying to get classified. She keeps zeroing out her classifiers, so she needs 2 more. Needs 2 more good ones to get classified, and the match on Saturday is 6 stages. So, definitely going tomorrow. Don't know how I'll do because I have messed up hands, and now an injured foot from work. Oh boy, what did you do to your foot? What's wrong with your hands? Are you just from work? Should shoot some weak hand then. Shoot with your left hand instead of your right. It's kind of like when you do the stranger. It just feels a little weird. Do you know or have you ever seen a weapons light that mounts directly to an AR or M4 bayonet lug? Back in the day, yeah. Man, I can't even think of what it was called. I used to mount damn near a full-size Surefire to them. But there was mounts at some point that existed that you could do that. Just like they used to have bipods that attached to the bayonet lug. Try to find that stuff now, and I'm sure you're not going to find it. But yes, they did have mounts that used to mount directly to the bayonet lug. My opening deer season is tomorrow. They're giving us $2 10 does this year. Holy fuck! That's a lot of deer. Concrete and mortar rub the skin off my hands till they bled even with gloves on. That sucks. Concrete work is tough. Definitely a hard job, man. I only need 2 that will carry me a year. There you go. Well, you got extra kids though to feed, so when I get done, Jerry, I'll take a few minutes. I'll see if I can't find one. But and we're talking back to like 2000, maybe 99 when I saw them. But if you go back, like that was one of the ways they used to mount Surefires and shit, because in them early days they didn't have flashlight mounts. Everything was taped to the rail. They didn't have aftermarket rails, so like some of the earlier SWAT setups, when they quit taping stuff to a rail, it was bayonet mounted. Then they came out with mounts that went inside the front post. I can't even remember. Long time ago. Remember when I saw them, I was disappointed because everything I had was post-band, so I didn't have bayonet lugs on anything. Then obviously after GWAT started, then we started getting, free-floating forearms and rail systems, and the stuff like Midwest Industries or Knights Armament came out where you could remove the front forearm and put in the rail section. So, but off the top of my head, I don't recall While I was cutting with a concrete saw, full throttle, one of the teeth on the blade broke off and hit my foot. Now it feels broken. Rough day. John, you should probably go have it looked at. He's looking for a bayonet lug weapons light mount. So it would be something that directly attached to the bayonet lug on an AR-15. I know they have them, or did have them. I don't know. I don't recall the name, but you know, you're talking 25, 30 years ago. Wings do not play with feet. Yeah. Yeah, if your foot's broke, man, go and get it checked out. That could turn into some serious shit. So definitely not worth gambling. Hey, Gage. New York Outcast, how are you doing, man? Thanks for stopping in. Maybe you can help me out. I'm looking for the perfect handgun. One like the movies that never runs out of ammo. So no need to reload. Any recommendations? Yeah, no recommendations. They're out there though. You see them all the time. Usually they have a switch on them too. But yeah, New York Outcast, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day is going good. I try not to, Mr. Daniel. Just one of those rough days. Yeah, it happens. So I don't know if you guys all know 2A Ninja, right? You're familiar with his channel. I was on his Instagram this morning, and something I didn't know, he actually has a web store. But he's selling some of them Atrius Super Selectors. Yeah, we're doing good too. My daughter and I are gonna go shoot tomorrow. I don't think we're shooting on Sunday this week, but yeah, 2A has his web store. I went on there, I ordered one of them Super Selectors. I ordered one from Atrius already like 3 weeks ago, but they're saying 4 to 6 weeks before you get it. I'm in my week 3. 2A Ninja said they'll ship today, and they actually sent me a tracking number like an hour and a half later, so. Look up Fob Defense Direct Mountain Systems. There you go. Fob Defense is cool. They're an Israeli company, so a lot of the stuff they sell is stuff they're using with the Israeli military forearms and whatnot. But I ordered 500 bullets, just the bullets, just the projectiles from Gunbroker, 500 tracers, so they're 62 grain. We have 2 of them Atrius Super Selectors coming, and I have a couple 100-round Beta C-Mags. So we'll put the kit up in a tower, we'll put a drone up, and we'll do it at dusk, but we'll throw a couple 100 rounds of tracers downrange, about 400 yards, and get some footage of that. So that's, if you ever seen that post, that's what we're going to be doing with them tracers and them triggers. Hopefully it works. So yeah. All those TSO2s, if so, I'm highly jealous. No, so the 3 orange ones, the orange one on the bottom with the dot is a TSO1. They don't call it a TSO1, but it's TSO1, Tactical Sport Orange. They didn't assign numbers to them until they came out with Tactical Sport Orange 2. So bottom one with the dots at Tactical Sport Orange, and then Tactical Sport Orange 2, Tactical Sport Orange 2. There's 1 in 9, 1 in 40, and then obviously my son's is 9mm. Bro, they all have pick rail systems that adapt also through bayonet lugs. Yeah. So I bought the second TSO2 in 40. That was actually what I was looking for when I bought the both. The other TSOs in 9, Only one I really wanted was the 40. That was the one I was looking for, and I couldn't get it. We bought my son's, and then when the TSO2s came out, I was trying to get the 40, and the only one I could get was the 9, so I bought the 9, and now I have the 40. The 9mm TSO is the softest 9mm I have. Thing is just super, super soft shooting gun. It's got a good trigger. It's got a good feel. It tracks well. I really like that gun. I don't shoot it much, but I do really like that gun. It's easy to be accurate with. Damn near shoots itself. That was the same money as the Dan Wesson was, and I think it's a lot better value. It's a better buy than the DWX. DWX is nice, and most people would love to have it, but the TSO2 is where it's at. Yeah, Dan, thanks for looking that up. Obviously, I'm not in a place where I could do that. Nice CZs are the only way to go. I would have never known had I not come across your channel. Yeah, if you're a shooter and competition shooter, that's where it's at. It's hard to beat them. Hard to beat them for the money too. They come in great. The Shadow 2 is a great gun for the money. It's definitely it's a competition ready firearm. You can do some stuff to it to make it better, but you could buy it today and go compete tomorrow. And everybody says competition ready, but no, the Shadow 2 is a true competition ready gun. You get it and you go compete the next day. I'm sure John Wank's yours probably was, but all my CZs come sighted in. I mean, they're hitting where they're supposed to. How many guns do you buy and you have to zero them? So, all right, Jerry, I appreciate you stopping in, man. I hope you have a good day, and I'll definitely catch you another time. I appreciate you stopping, though. Thoughts on a 16-inch barrel Smith & Wesson 308. I'm wanting to upgrade it. Put it on the channel. It has irons only, so I want to hook it up. What's some ideas to make it better? 18-inch barrel would make it better, but a 16-inch, you know, an AR-15's got a simple recipe. A decent barrel, generally an adjustable gas block, so you can tune it down a little bit. A great trigger, and some sort of upgraded buffer system, be it a JP Enterprise or a Maximum Defense or Jerry Micklicks or anything. Upgrade that buffer system. And then I really like red dots with magnifiers, flip dot magnifiers. I think that's the way to go. With a 16-inch barrel, I mean, you're not going to poke much past 300 yards with it, you know. So Comp M2, Comp M4, with a 3 or 4 power, you know, flip to the side magnifier would put you right where you want to be in a good muzzle brake. As far as triggers, that's so subjective, because what I think is a really great trigger, you may not like, and or the other thing. So, I tried to tell you, beautiful collection. I appreciate that. Already has adjustable gas block. When I got it, I got to look into adjustable gas block and see what to set it at. Yeah, so when you adjust your gas block, basically you turn it down till it stops locking open, and then back it off. If it's a screw adjustment or a click adjustment, you go back a couple turns till you get full bolt lock. But the red and black one, yeah, that's a 22, so that's a tandem cross frame. It's tandem cross bolt, charging handle, optic mount, and compensator. That's a Ruger Mark IV frame or barrel per receiver, but that's a full tandem cross build. I bought the receiver, but everything else was sponsored from Tandem Cross to the channel. I wish the controls were ambidextrous, because I'd probably shoot it, but they're all for right-handed shooters, and so my son shoots it. That's his gun. So we met Tandem Cross at GunCon, and they provided them parts. It's a nice shooting gun. I do like my Black Mamba a little more, but there's, you know, $1,000 price difference between the two setups. So, yeah, you're a lefty. Yeah, so you would have the same problem I do. Like the gas pedal on it's for a right-handed shooter, and then the safety on it's obviously for a right-handed shooter. Um, so, but without the gas pedal, and then you get the other side safety, that they're lower, their trigger kits, their magazine release, their slide release, their grip, they're top notch. Nobody'd be disappointed in that. So on the very top right of the screen, that camel gun up there, that's a Volkorstern Black Mamba. So like I said, there's about $1,000 difference between the two of them. The Black Mamba is the one I shoot, but the Tandem Cross is killer. You can't, nobody'd go wrong with Tandem Cross parts. So yeah, I hear you. I'm left-handed too, so that complicates everything. You know, you go buy a nice firearm, the first thing you have to do is order an ambidextrous safety for it. A lot of my stuff, like I don't know how you change your mags, but when I change a magazine, I use my trigger finger to release the magazine. So a lot of my stuff, I've changed the magazine release spring to a lighter spring, so it's easier to function. You know, easier to function fast. But yeah, I hear you on being left-handed, man. That complicates everything. Just kind of the way it is. I do like it though, in some companies they think about that. Either they make a reversible magazine release, or they make, you know, ambidextrous controls that are actually the same on both sides versus making the right side thinner or smaller. But yeah, the struggle's real, man. It definitely sucks. Definitely sucks. But it is what it is, you know. It's like you know, you adapt, you overcome, and you move on. You know, it's, I have a couple left-handed rifles, and every once in a while my kids will shoot them. And it's just like when I shoot a right-handed gun, they'll pick it up and they're getting hit with brass, or, you know, it bothers them because it's flying across their face or whatever else. And I remind them that's how it is for me, you know. So it's not as much fun to shoot an AR when you're getting hit with brass, you know. So I have a couple left-handed ARs. I have a couple left-handed bolt-action rifles. I wish that, like, you could buy a pistol, a Glock in left-hand eject. That would be badass. Or a CZ in left-hand eject. I know there's some companies, I don't know if they're still in production, but there used to be some companies that made left-hand eject 1911s. And at the time I saw them, they were expensive, so I never bought them. But yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks even more not only getting hit with it, but like if your shirt's tucked in and it hits your collarbone and goes down your shirt, that really sucks. So I've been burnt with brass more times than not. Like some of the worst stuff is like shooting indoors. You know, you're shooting at an indoor range, so you have a bay and your brass hits off the wall and falls in your glasses. I've had that happen a couple times to me, you know. So that's not good. That could happen to a right-handed shooter, but I think just that couple inches of the firearm being one side or the other, I don't know if that happens to right-handed shooters, but it's happened to me being a left-handed shooter. But I would definitely like to see more manufacturers like make things left-hand friendly. It'd be cool to have, you know, everything I own left-hand friendly. That's why you don't shoot the 338 Lapua anymore. Yeah. Yeah, and I had that happen to me, John Winks. Left a nice little burn on my cheek. Now, should I have had a baseball cap on? Probably. You know, should I have had my glasses pushed tighter in my face? Probably. You know. The guy I bought my home from has stage 4 colon cancer. He has given me 3 boxes of rifles and shotguns to try to do something with his med bills, but everything's apart, so I'm having to find parts. Yeah, that sucks. Never had that one happen, no. Sooner or later, if you shoot enough, it will. You know, that's the thing with shooting is it's all statistics. You know, sooner or later you get a squib. Sooner or later you get malfunctions. Sooner or later you get light strikes. Sooner or later you get burnt with brass. You know, but like I will say, I do enjoy shooting left-handed firearms a whole lot more. Desert Armory and more. How are you doing? Hope your day's going well. So, but yeah, I ain't got much going on here. I had a few hours to kill. I've been lacking on doing live, so we figured we'd put a live together and help the channel out a little bit. Yeah, when you shoot approximately 7 rounds or more a week, it's bound to happen. Yeah, it happens, you know. No, they're not. They're not as good as CZs. They're okay. You know, they come in at a attractive price range for most people. If you bought a SAR, would you be disappointed? No, not at all. If you bought a SAR and then bought a CZ, would you be disappointed in the SAR? Absolutely. The fit and finish isn't quite the same, and the accuracy isn't quite the same. They're good, just not as good. Benelli Black Eagle, 12 gauge, 3.5 inch. Only thing I see with it is a choke is stuck. It appears to be a cracked barrel. Seems to be fine, I think, above that. So at least the Benelli barrels, they're available. They're not super expensive to find a replacement barrel for it. So that's a good thing. If you guys haven't, I mean, there ain't many of you in here right now. If you haven't, consider subscribing to the channel. Double tap that screen for me. That stuff helps. You know, it helps YouTube algorithms. You know, I was doing a little reading on some shit that YouTube sent me in their partnership program. They give you, like every 2 weeks or so, they send me something to read. And they're saying right now that lives are generating about 30% of the total views on YouTube. So doing lives is important right now, and getting your guys who are watching it, you know, engaging in comments and double tapping the screen and all that stuff is huge. It's going to help every channel. So I know in the evening the lives go nuts. That's damn near the only thing you can find on YouTube is people doing lives. So I always try to do them earlier in the day, so I'm not competing with any of that. But that's what I know. Hey, Gage.
Yeah?
Come here. Mason, how are you doing?
What?
Come here.
I was about to get in the shower.
But he's got a beautiful firearm collection and no family. We kind of adopted him as family. So every day he's showing up with more guns. There you go. Nothing else, Dan. Do some videos on this stuff. So, yeah, it's going all right, Mason. Chilled weekend. We shoot in southern Wisconsin on Saturday. My daughter and I will go down there for a USPSA classifier match. Sunday they have Steel Challenge in Ripon. I don't know if we're gonna go to that yet or not. I don't think we are. Doing good. We just started corn harvest. Yeah, it's that time of year, man. How wet is the corn yet? Are you guys having to dry it at the? Are they having to dry it, or is it coming off dry? What's the moisture content, I guess, is the question. Want to say hi to Mason?
Sure.
He's in here.
Hi, Mason.
Okay, eat you in your stomach.
No.
Just
No.
right in the gut.
No.
Why are you wearing makeup?
I don't know.
You're so weird, dude. You try to be such a little girl. Your mom's not even that girly. It's all right, I guess.
I am a girl.
It's about borderline right now, depending on the field. Yeah, well, I hope it stays dry. Definitely better. What are they selling a bushel at right now? Or are they doing it by metric ton?
The song I'm listening to isn't that girly. By Eminem.
Kill Shot, yeah. You ever listen to Machine Gun Kelly? No. You might like some of his stuff too. You don't even want to. Oh, I'm curious. I mean, obviously I'm not out there farming, but
Brookside FRM. Who's that?
is it up or is it down? I mean, are you guys at least making money?
Who's Brookside?
You guys, I assume, have all your beans off now. They should all be well off field. How'd you guys do with that? Did you make money at that? It's always kind of a gamble. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Let's get some paper towel. We'll wash this screen off. That thing is filthy.
Where?
Looks like a porn shoot. It was a little under $4 a bushel last I checked. That could definitely be a little better, huh? I think it was probably a good year for corn, though. From what I've seen, it looked like everybody had healthy corn. So, hopefully, you guys have a great harvest.
We don't have any paper towel.
Turn around.
Oh.
Oh. Bean price is shit too, but yield is good. We put it all in storage to wait for better prices. There you go. That's the way to do it. My father-in-law, they go through a broker, so they have a set rate going into the year. So whatever number they come up with, they set it even before the harvest. So if the prices are way up, technically they lose money, but if the prices go down, they make money. So. You know, the corner here in Georgia, was it great this year? Yeah. Henry, why don't you take a couple guesses and I'll tell you if you're high or low. But be sure to double tap that screen for me. Kind of like to hit 50 thumbs ups before I dip out. Well, wait, get out of the screen. You're gonna get me a strike. Can't do that, dude.
I didn't know it was on the screen.
Yeah. So.
I'll wait then.
Yep, just wait a minute. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and guessing on what the value on what you have displayed. Oh crap, a small house. Yeah, I don't know about a small house anymore. Property values are way up too. Definitely buy a nice car or a truck. You wouldn't be able to get a brand new truck off the showroom floor anymore, but that's only because a good truck is $80,000-$90,000. But oh, so pretty. Such a sweetheart. But I think when we figured it out, because we just stuck the Desert Eagle out too, and then he grabbed that 43X. Without them two out, we were at 37. Add another, $1K for the Desert Eagle, and I don't know what the 43 are like $550. So we're at what, 30, 38, 39ish. So not crazy. It looks like a lot, but should see some of the other stuff I have. You can get decent 2-bedroom homes around here for 50, 75K. Yeah, the even a little shack, dude, even a little single bedroom house, no basement, just a crawl space is 100,000 plus. So kind of sucks because I've been trying to get my oldest to buy a house, and man, he like he can't. You know, you can't afford what you just can't afford it. And the houses that you can afford are absolutely worth not buying. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna get off this live. I appreciate everybody that came and hung out. Dan, I appreciate you being here. John Winks was here. Desert Armory, Dust Cover Actual, Jerry Parker, Joe South, Mason. I'm missing people. But all you guys that came and hung out with me, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time to do it, and I appreciate the time to, show the channel support. So until I catch you probably in your lives, I wish you guys nothing but the best. El Sancho, how are you doing? El Sancho, I'm just cutting this live out. So, but I do appreciate you being here. Double tap that screen real quick for me. I'd appreciate that. But as I was saying, gentlemen, ladies, things, I'll see you all another time. I hope you have a great day until then.